Alrighty. Back in the USSR. I don't know why that song just popped into my head now, baby. It's the Beatles, right? Back in the USSR. Back in the USSR. Lick my sphincter, please. To the 25-bit share says, is it true that you applied to Ivy League schools? Yes, it is. I was the valedictorian of my high school. Why wouldn't I have applied to Ivy League schools? Of course I did. And I toured them and everything. And I told you, literally, the reason I was rejected was because I'm white and I needed money. If I were white and rich, it could pay my way. If I were white and I had family who had gone there, so I was a legacy, or if I were a minority, I would have made it in. But because I was white and I needed money, I got rejected. And that's the way that the Ivy League schools work in the United States of America, folks. Tokyo Trump asks how many people were in my graduating class. I have no idea. I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to that shit. I literally have no clue how many were in my graduating class. Ratchet says he wants to go to the 2019 Royal Rumble. Do I have any tips for someone aiming to go to a WWE pay-per-view live? Sure. Number one, if you stay at a hotel, what I would recommend is stay at one far away and then drive a while to get to the pay-per-view. The reason I say that is because hotels near those events are insanely exorbitantly priced on purpose for people who don't know the area and don't want to drive. So you'll be paying 2 to 3 times more for a hotel if you get one close than if you get one much further away. Okay, that's number one. Number two, don't eat at the venue. The venue has incredibly overpriced food. Drinks, there's not much you can do about. If you're thirsty, you're fucking thirsty. But I don't recommend eating at the venue. It's usually crap food, and it's massively overpriced. And I know this sucks because the Royal Rumble, you won't be able to do it. I was able to do it at WrestleMania because it just so happened. The WrestleMania I attended, the main event was The Rock versus John Cena, which I did not give 2 fucks about. I just didn't care about this. I was super angry that CM Punk dropped the title to The Rock. I thought it was a waste of time. So that being said, I left during the main event, and I was able to get the fuck out of there and not sit in an hour of traffic to leave. But you're watching the Royal Rumble. You know the Rumble will be last. You want to see who wins the Rumble. Therefore, you can't leave early. So that third-party advice you can't abide by. So okay. Oh my god. Still not there yet. Let me very quickly loot this house if I can. Look at my sphincter, please. Says I got to play basketball. I got offers from 2 Ivy Leagues. The bottom line is this. And I'm serious. If you're a minority, if you play a sport like basketball and you're really good at it, and you have at least decent grades, like C's to B's, in the United States of America, you will get into a great college. It's just that simple. That's who colleges are looking for to fulfill their minority quotas. It's true. And by the way, I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm saying that you will get in. Like, you have an amazingly good chance. I wonder how many people don't realize that and squander their opportunity to basically be millionaires. No ballsy Fred. I've never watched Westworld ever. Never. Ah. Planet Jeff asks, would I call this genre of game, which a lot of people are calling survival, and some people are calling mano a mano, would I say that has staying power? It certainly is fucking popular right now, right? I'm gonna see if I can get this Jeep, by the way. It's certainly popular right now. Every fucking game is trying to make one, right? Literally every game is trying to have this game mode now. Does it have staying power? I don't know. Right now it's a fad, that's for sure. I don't know if it has staying power. Oh, it's broken down. You cocksucking uncle fucker. I thought that that fucking Jeep was good. I got totally fooled. Totally fucking fooled, dude. God damn. Okay. You know, people, I'll address this. People think I make it up when I say the reason I didn't get into an Ivy League school was because I'm white and because I needed financial aid. The reason I know that is not because they told me they can't legally, they wouldn't be able to tell you that. You could sue them. But I had a mentor at the time. He was actually the head of the science department at my high school. And he also he taught over across the street from my high school was an actual university called Sacred Heart University. So he not only was a teacher at my high school, he was a university teacher. He had seen kids come and go to many different schools over the years, and he had family members who had gone to Ivy League University. And I literally throughout high school worked with him to make sure that my resume, you know, when I'm applying, had everything that it needed in order to get into an Ivy League school. I had the grades. I had tons of extracurriculars. I was part of 2 different volunteering groups, including volunteering for the elderly, a Jewish home for the elderly that was across the street from my high school, as well as a community service group that I was in for a while. I was part of 3 different extracurricular clubs at school, including they didn't have Glee Club back then, but they had like the high school musicals. I was in 3 of those. Like, basically the only thing I didn't have under my belt in high school was a sport. I had done every kind of extracurricular you could think of, except for a sport. So I had every possible qualification. I had the grades, I had the extracurriculars, I had everything possible that would have qualified me to go to an Ivy League school, and they still turned me down. And I went to my mentor after this happened, and I said to him, why do you think I was turned down? And by the way, it should be noted, 2 kids from my school were let into an Ivy League college. Both of them were football players, both of them were black, both of them had good grades, not great. They both had a B average, basically. And they were let into Ivy League schools, and I wasn't. Okay? And full ride, by the way. Full scholarships. While I wasn't. Even though I was the valedictorian of the school and I had more extracurriculars than them, but I wasn't a football player and I wasn't black, they got full Ivy League scholarships and I didn't. And again, I talked to my mentor. He says, literally, the only reason I could think of that you did not get into the school is because you're white and you needed financial aid. He says, that's it. If you were white and you were rich and you could pay your way, you would have got in. If you were a legacy, you absolutely would have gotten in. Or if you were a minority. But the problem is you're not. You're none of those things. So because of that, you got fucked. You're not what Ivy League schools in America are looking for. So there you go. But you know what? I fucking hate those people. I really do. People born with the silver spoon in their fucking mouth and everything gets handed to them. And you know, oh, I went to an Ivy League school, so I get $1 million job just because I have an Ivy League degree, even though you could be dumb as dirt like George W. fucking Bush, right? I hate that shit. I don't like that. I don't agree with that. And I actually am totally anti that, this elitist class in America. So in a lot of ways, maybe it worked out well that I wasn't that, because I don't know, my life certainly would have been different, that's for sure. My life would have been way different than it is now. Because I would have been filthy rich. I would have had a job, would have been filthy rich. Right? Right out of college. Even it says, what was my average? Are you talking about grades? My grade point average? 4.0. It was the highest it could be. At my high school, it was 4.0. Because technically, it should have been higher than 4.0 because I did extracurriculars and stuff. But I was told, at my school, they don't do that. Some other high schools would do, oh, you have a 4.5 grade point average. I was told at my high school, we don't do that. You're just going to get 4, and we're not going to go any higher than that. So I got literally the highest possible grade point average you could get at my high school. All right. And by the way, I should say this too. The kids who did get into the Ivy League schools, the kids who were black, I have no hard feelings against them. I was actually good friends with one of them because he went to the same elementary school. We went to the same school. And he was a nice kid. And honestly, you know, I don't mind that he got into a great school. You know, it wasn't like he was a shithead who would have fucking abused it and became filthy rich and turned into a turd or anything like that. Nothing like that at all. He was a good kid. So I'm not resentful of them getting in. I'm resentful that I didn't make it in too. Because I had all the qualifications, except I wasn't rich. And I got fucked because of it. You hear him, right? He's leaving. Damn it. God damn it. I was hoping he would run up so I could kill him and steal his shit. Now, all this shit is looted already, dude. I knew it. It's all fucking looted already. What am I doing up here? I don't want to be up here. Shit. All this shit is already looted. You know, it's funny. Yeah, here you go. Dark Poacher says, you're many things, my friend, but Ivy League material is not one of them. You know what? Maybe it's a good thing. You know, maybe it is a good thing. Because who knows what would have happened. I mean, maybe I would have been filthy rich, but I would have grown up to be a real piece of shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I'm not saying everyone that goes to Ivy League college is a piece of shit either. But, like, who knows what would have happened to my life. Right? If I had gone to an Ivy League school and I've been a completely different person. I don't know, man. I probably never would have played competitive Street Fighter. I never would have done 95% of the shit that I did. My whole life probably would have been focused around, like, work and, you know, family and shit like that. So I certainly wouldn't have been a unique individual like I am now, and I certainly would have never done YouTube videos. You know what I mean? My life would have been 1,000,000% different. So maybe in a lot of ways it turned out to be the best. I don't know. I don't know. Does it really matter to dwell on the past like that? I've never been a person like that who sits around and just dwells on the past, on what could have been, what might have been. Instead, there is what is, and that's what you should focus on. So, that's kind of my philosophy.